Feel that teenagers react and handle like today's society and how they interact with it?
That's a good question. I think the biggest is my first thought is I think they don't interact a lot today in society. I think that's the biggest problem that most people my age would say is that we're so caught up in cell phones and technology that they're not interacting. I feel like teenagers have a really bad reputation now, but I don't feel like that it's a very fair generalization, because if you look at the kids who are smoking dope or the kids who are using drugs, that's a small percentage of kids compared to the kids like you guys who are coming in here and working hard and wanting to learn. And so I wish there were more videos and more PSAs out about the kids that are doing good work and doing good things, because I think you all get a bad rep for a small group. And I think if you went back to 1970 when I was, well, 1976 when I was in middle school, I remember in middle school hearing about LSD and hearing about pot and things like that. So it isn't like these things are new. They may be more available to you all through technology, but they were back there and it was a small percentage of people that weren't doing the right things.
I, in a way, feel like that we're very, very materialistic. I also feel like that we hide our private demons by our egos, like social media and other things. Like, because most kids these days, they're like all worried about like designer shoes, designer belts, like all that kind of stuff. I also feel like we are very, very edgy. I think that's also a good thing though. Like, I'm glad that, you know, we can like take a joke rather than some people who get so offended. For the most part, I feel like we expect people to treat us even, but we also like need that like branch, like that support. I feel like some adults, like, you know, they look at us as if we're kids, turn to substances for our depression, which is not healthy, but you know, what else are people gonna do?
As a generation, we're very sensitive in ways that when we're, you know, whenever we communicate with one another, I feel like we are very biased, not necessarily biased, but like we're very like stuck in our ways and refuse to like see the other side of whatever someone has to say, whether we're arguing or just like making a point in general. We're really hostile and aggressive whenever someone tests our beliefs, regardless of whether or not they're being like disrespectful or kind. Like, if anyone ever kind of just comes at us sideways or whatever, we just flip out for no reason. And yeah, I just feel like this generation's really just childish.
Teens today interact more on social media than they do in real life with each other, because they can say a million things on Twitter but won't say it in person. And I think that's just how we cope with things that are going on. Instead of facing them head on, we tend to go to our phones, our laptops, instead of face-to-face interaction.